Well, I guess I'm a born environmentalist. It really was through FDE that I got actively involved. I had probably been a member of the Audubon Society and maybe the Sierra Club. Was when I got into FDE at about 1970, more or less. That's when I was actively involved.
About the foundation of FDE and kind of who was involved and what you remember about the early days and yeah, who actually should get credit, to how it got started.
There's no doubt as to that question. It was Marjorie Collins. She and a zoologist by the name of David Anthony were the founders of FDE. I came in, got involved with them shortly after they were created, but they were the founders. As I recall, was bird watching on Payne's Prairie. I occasioned to meet either Marjorie or David, I don't remember which it was, on that occasion, and became involved then. I say that was about 1970 probably. At that time, of course, I was teaching at the law school and was there daily in Lake Alice. It's just down 25th Street from the law school. And there was a plan to float to extend the highway off of Archer Road, I think, into Lake Alice on the south side and circle it with a road and bring it out by 25th Street, which is adjacent to the law school, to 8th Avenue. So that's when I really got involved in shelving that project, which was, in my view, then and now, would have been tremendously harmful to Lake Alice and to the university, to the law school. Early 70s, well, of course, there have been a lot of changes to UF over the years. A lot of years, and many buildings have been built. There's a colleague named Roy Hunt, who is a law school colleague, and he is involved in historic preservation. It's what his main mission or main application, I guess. And so I would work with Roy and others in trying to keep places that didn't need to be destroyed on the campus whole, and I think we had some success. Well, when I got involved in the politics of the city commission in the early 70s, I guess, there was, how am I going to express this? There was not much concern from environmental interests. So that's what motivated me to involve, and I think it was effort to stop the ring road around Lake Alice. Soon after that, I got involved with to the city commission, and I think there was some notoriety coming out of my involvement. At least there was a newsworthy thing. So I got elected to the commission. That would have been in '72, I guess. I worked in the law school. I last taught there about 2024. 2010. Of course, in teaching, the thing I enjoyed most is meeting and working with and teaching students and my colleagues, many of whom were very nice people that I enjoyed knowing. And in the environmental area, Julian Jurgensmeyer was here then, and he was, I think, our original environmental teacher. And he primarily, but also I taught environmental courses. I think particularly Florida environmental law. You might say I helped to create courses. When Reuben Askew and Lawton Childs were governors, we had governors with a real environmental bent. And so things were, well, even Bob Martinez was not that bad. Since then, the governors have not been, in my view, I could be wrong, particularly strong on the environment or interested in the environment, the more development kind of people. They can they can join organizations such as Friends of Florida and Thousand Friends of Florida, I guess it is, and Sierra Club, and the Audubon Society, and I'm sure others that are interested in the environment and become involved collectively that way. In most instances, it's organized support to get you there. We had a remarkable person in Marjorie Carr in Florida. She's sort of a stimulus for a lot of things. And it was a great pleasure knowing her and working with her. She was just a very effective person, very nice person. Archie Carr was her husband, so she had a real zoologist in her as her husband. She herself has a degree in, I forgot what it was. It was an environmental area, but she didn't have a PhD degree. Of course, Archie did. Well, FDE was founded by Marjorie and by David Anthony. I think I mentioned that, and I came in a year or two after they were founded and became very active with them. In terms of any particular project other than the Florida or the Florida Barge Canal, I don't have a clear memory at the moment. We did have interest in the Apalachicola River, and exactly what we did at the moment is not clear in my mind, but those are the things I can remember most clearly at the moment. Richard Heyman was an important member for a long time. He served as president of FD on one occasion, helped keep us going. In terms of specific individuals, I'm just having trouble now. Well, I can predict the future. I don't think the dam will be coming down. The only way it can be done is politically, and of course you've got the political forces in Putnam County that want to keep it up. So I don't believe anything dramatic in that particular direction is going to happen anytime soon. Well, I think it's a beautiful river for canoeing and having other outdoor activities, and fishing, of course, and the general environmental things that people like to do instead of floating around on a boat or running around in a motorboat. Well, parts of the river remained undisturbed, and you could canoe on those parts of the river. But then when you got to the lake, it was not much fun. It caught me at a bad time.
Gotcha.
I'm just having a hard time recollecting those events at the moment.
Mission was to talk with this professor from Bethune-Cookman. She's trying to put together, some history of the state to Florida, and some of the key leaders who helped shape that. And
I think our efforts saved the Lake Alice, prevented it from having a major highway circling it, and then going out to 8th Avenue. There were times, of course, when there were tree protection issues, that some of which were successful in saving trees from going down unnecessarily on the campus. Important to protect the environmental values of the campus, because somebody's going to want to build the building somewhere that doesn't need to be that where because of the destruction to the trees or whatever it is. So it's a constant battle to preserve environmental values, and that's the call in the area such as Gainesville. I found it useful, and what's the word I'm going to say? I don't know about entertaining, but valuable to do. And the main point was to remain connected to what's going on the faculty and in the faculty, and what the interests were, and keeping in touch with people I knew. Was a law school delegate to the faculty senate. And it was not until years later, I think after I'd already retired, that I was invited to be the parliamentarian. And I enjoyed that, going to the meetings and watching the people, doing my job as parliamentarian.